Hi there everyone, Piet and Krade here. We are the owners of a successful wellness and coaching business, the Purple House in Tasmania, and we are here with our weekly update. Today we want to talk about, it's called metabolic syndrome, and 80% of Americans are suspected to suffer from metabolic syndrome, which is really a long word for saying you are pre-diabetic. The numbers would be the same in Australia, and it relates to what we see in our clients from week to week, and it's quite alarming, especially when you realize that every 3 seconds somebody is diagnosed with diabetes. Globally speaking, every 3 seconds somebody is diagnosed, and that doesn't account for people who are not diagnosed, who are just living along like a ticking time bomb with like pre-diabetic. And apparently every 7 seconds somebody dies due to diabetes.
Complications of diabetes.
That's what I want to say.
And I wouldn't wish the complications of diabetes onto my worst enemy, really.
So that's the bad
horrific.
news. That's right. So Peter, before we had our wellness center, which we've had now for 25 years, Peter was an active nurse, like on medical wards and different wards for another 25 years, which shows your age. So we've seen a lot of things in our lifetime. We've seen trends come and go also in the wellness area of life. But we actually want you to know that this problem is completely preventable and also largely reversible. Because, I mean, if 80% now has metabolic disease, we can't really talk about prevention anymore, right? We need to talk about how can we turn the steering wheel around.
How can we reverse it?
That's right. And so what are some of the symptoms?
You may be suffering with no energy, fatigue, or blood pressure's going up. Your doctor's saying your cholesterol's a bit high, and lack of libido, and
lost your mojo,
increased weight.
Especially around your waist
and
midriff.
And the list goes on really, but
a stuck feeling in your tummy.
The no energy is usually that you've maybe gone into a pre-diabetic state, like insulin resistance. You've been bombarding your cells too often and too much with sugar and insulin, and they become resistant. And then when we have a high insulin level floating around our bloodstream, every time we eat, we stimulate that insulin to be secreted into our bloodstream. We'll never lose weight if that is the case either. So,
and also it's not really your fault, because lots of people start their life off like this, right? As babies, because our parents parents are ignorant, adults are ignorant, that's what I should say, and ignorance isn't bliss, but it's been promoted, of course, by all the wrong dietary advice over the years, with the low fat push that started in the 1970s. So it's now like 50 years later, we're seeing the end result of that. So we're seeing massive amount of diabetes and also brain problems like ADHD. And then on the other side of the spectrum, where people age, and there's a huge epidemic of dementia. So Pete,
we either get energy from fats or sugars, and so
and we can't get energy from both at the same time. No. Is that clear?
Well, our body will use sugars if it can,
because it's easier.
Because it's a lot easier. It gets into our cells a lot quicker and gives us a boost of energy, but it gets used up very quickly as well.
If you think, just to help people understand, sorry, I'm going to pick your brain a bit. So like if people are new to the topic and they don't understand their metabolism and they feel tired, so they have sugar, then they feel better, so then they think sugar or fruit or carbs are good for you, right? But if you were to think of lighting a fire, what can you compare sugars and carbohydrates to when you go to light a fire out in the bush?
Yeah, it's the kindling. You start off with kindling, so it flares up, gets the fire going quickly.
Nice and warm.
And then you put on the bigger logs, and the kindling becomes the coals in the bottom, dies right down, and then the logs catch on fire, and that's the fats that keep the fire going for a long period of time. And I've had people come to me after having one banana and their blood sugars are up between 8 and 9, which is
way too high.
It's above 6, it's causing inflammation, that spike above 6. And it'll be probably back down again in 30 minutes if they're handling their sugars well. But
we've had a lot of clients who their blood sugar stayed up for like 5 hours afterwards.
Yeah, well, they aren't handling their sugars well.
I
But
know.
if you're handling your sugars well, then it will be back down within an hour, hopefully. But I also had a client come to me with full-blown type 2 diabetes with out-of-control blood sugar levels, up around 14, 2 hours after breakfast, having had tablets to bring it, to reduce it. And he took on board what I recommended and came back 2 months later with a blood sugar of 3.7 with lots of energy. He'd done a 10K walk that morning and he was totally using fats for his energy. And it got reversed his type 2 diabetes in 2 months. And it's possible.
Most of the time it would take a bit more than 2 months. But even if it took a year, even if it took 2 years, as long as you know you've turned the corner, right? That's really the most important thing, that you start to feel a little bit more energy, you get more resilience, you're not as grumpy, you get your mojo back. So Pete, what's the best way if people are listening to this and they recognize they've got some of these symptoms going on in their body, and aches and pains and inflammation, and they're aging too quickly, what do you reckon they need to do? Or do you want me to say? I'll just say, I recommend that you go and see Peter. So Pete does a full health audit. I actually recommend that everyone has a full health audit at least once a year, in the same way that you take your car for a service.
We
right?
service our car often.
You make sure the brakes are on.
A lot more often than
and the tires and everything is reliable.
Yeah.
So Peter offers a full health audit. Actually, he's been doing that since 2009, quietly in the corner. So he's literally seen thousands and thousands of people. It's a one-on-one consultation. There's a huge questionnaire you have to fill in, and then he does all the testing testing on your metabolic system in the room with you there. It's not invasive, by the way, and you get to look at your own live and dried blood as well as other tests that are done. And then Peter will be able to tell you exactly which part of your body are working strongly, and also which part of your body are your weakest link that you may not even be conscious of. Because
plus I'll teach you how your system works, so you can alter things in your lifestyle to get it working. That's the
very important, because you could be thinking that you're driving a Mercedes, your car, but instead you're not driving a Mercedes. It could be a Volkswagen, or everyone is completely different, and everyone's biochemistry works in a unique way, because you're special, and you have your own unique qualities and things that you inherited from your ancestors that you need to know about, so that you can actually focus on getting your stronger parts even better working, and your weak parts really need to be supported, so you have more energy in your tank and you be more resilient. Now, if people don't want to, they don't have time right now for a full health audit or whatever, what's something that people can do straight away other than stopping or reducing their carbs and having more fats? What else do you recommend?
They could add a couple of supplements into their regime during the day. One to help them digest all their food properly, and one which is an enzyme, and one
which is Omnizyme, isn't it?
Omnizyme or Digestozyme, and then get the bile flow going to digest. That also helps the digestion work properly, and getting that bile flow going is one of the major things that will help
detox your body.
help discomfort in the digestive area,
Yeah.
and it's detoxing your body, getting the waste from your body so your cells can live in a healthy environment. Because
Exactly.
if that waste is floating around your body, your cells don't like it very much. They become sick.
Especially if you have had your gallbladder removed, that really sets you up for a cascade of, detrimental effects later on in your life. So your body can compensate for a while, but we always recommend certain supplements for everyone who's had their gallbladder removed, so you don't start completely breaking down in 20 years' time, because your gallbladder is vitally important. If you think of your liver as the hero of your body, or the heroine, right? So the hero does a lot of jobs, like 500 jobs that we know of in the body, and it keeps your blood clean and many, many things. It keeps your hormones ticking over, and it creates healthy energy levels. So that's the liver, that's the hero. But the gallbladder, which is like just below it or attached to it in a way, you could say, keeps the bile that's produced by the liver. It's like a little holding bag.
It concentrates the bile.
Yeah, and it makes it very, very caustic, so it gets very alkaline. You know how people are always promoting alkalinity, by the way. So your gallbladder in the bile is the most alkaline substance in your whole body. And so every time you eat, the gallbladder is meant to release a little bit of bile, and it sterilizes your duodenum, your small intestine.
Plus it neutralizes the acid contents of the stomach as they are released into the small intestine, and neutralizes that.
Yeah.
So the small bowel's nice and happy.
I know. Yeah. In the same way people clean their swimming pools, or industrial cleaners are often very, very caustic, right? People have to wear gloves and stuff, but they chuck it in whatever, let's say a swimming pool or something that needs major cleaning. They use caustic substances, and it just clears everything, and it comes back all nice and shiny. Well, our body has the same thing, and that is called your gallbladder. So if you don't have a gallbladder anymore, you definitely need to come talk to us. We will recommend something to help you to support your body. But aside from everyone who still has a gallbladder, we have to remember that 80% of us is now suffering with metabolic syndrome, or people are borderline. So really, that's probably you if you're listening to this video, or you definitely know a lot of people who suffer from that problem, and we need to get to the root cause, right? We can't just keep fluffing around the topic when the house is on fire. So the whole world population, you could say, is on fire with it. Like we talk about bushfires, but if we were to know that 80% of the Western world we're talking about is on fire on the inside, all the alarm bells would be going off. So that's what we're talking about. So Pete and I,
we don't have bells and whistles to light up little.
We have lots of bells and whistles.
Well, we do.
Because it's just you can't get out of bed, or you always feel thirsty, or you feel bloated, or you have aches and pains. Like we said, your hair falls out, your nails get brittle, you're cranky, and these are just surface syndromes. So please come and see us. We're available 3 days a week. We are definitely still around. So the Purple House has been functioning and open now since the year 1999. So like coming up 25 years. So do come and see us. These sessions can also be done remotely. So they will work slightly different. You're going to have to send Pete some different samples and so on.
I can't look at your live and dried blood remotely.
There's a lot you can.
There is a lot I can do.
You can absolutely get to the point of all your issues to do with your cell health. So we're talking about your cellular structure, because ultimately we are just a bag of 50 trillion cells, right? All working together happily, ideally, so you feel healthy and happy. So also, of course, I'm available for sessions as well. We both do what we call diagnostic sessions. So we help find the root cause of your problems, and then we can shift things very, very quickly. So please look after yourself, especially as we're heading into the Christmas season, which creates a lot of stress on people as well. So we are here to help you and support you in every way possible. And we'll put the article below, so have a look at the article as well and click on the link. And our online shop is open, of course, 7 days a week, 24/7, and your order is processed straight away. Okay, I hope you find this helpful. Let us know if it resonates with you and how we can help you better, and we wish you a really, really good week. Till next Tuesday. Bye everyone.
Bye.